Bob Hodge joining us now. The circle is complete. Everyone on today's show is now with us. Bob, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
The NCAA Selection Committee gave the world a look at how they viewed things as of yesterday. Let's take a look at the projection they put forth for their top 16 teams. There you have it. Tennessee got a number 2 seed down in the East Regional. They are potted in there with Duke, who's the number 1 seed, with Arizona number 3, and with Rick Pitino in the rejuvenated St. John's. Well, they're not the Redmen anymore. Red Storm. I don't know what they're called. But the St. John's Johnnies. You see Auburn, Alabama, and Florida. You got 3 number 1 seeds. The SEC got a whole lot of love. 6 of the top 16 seeds, in fact. Auburn, Alabama, Florida, number 1 seeds. Tennessee and Texas A&M, number 2 seeds. Kentucky, a number 3 seed. Bob, did the committee do right and we'll leave this up for a second, but did the committee do right by Tennessee in your book?
I think they did very right by Tennessee. I think being the number 1-2 seed is good.
Yeah, so you're 1 slot away from being a 1 seed.
Yes, you're 1 slot away from being a 1 seed, which means it's still out there since you've got games to play. If they had put them lower, it wouldn't have been shocking. But then when you look at who they've lost to, okay, you've lost to Kentucky, the 3. You lost to Florida, a 1. You lost to Auburn, a 1. So you kind of get why they've lost, but they're still where they are. So yeah, I think they did. I think they did pretty good by it.
There's a lot of coaches out there that rather have that number 1-2 seed than the 4th 1 seed, because who you're playing in that, you're going to be matched up. Just from the ranking side of it, I think they got it right. I'd rather be in the if I'm the number 1 of all those number 1s. I like Michigan at the number 4. That pod that was over there.
Let's go. If we can get that back up, great. If not, don't worry about it.
I mean, I think Duke is really good.
There it is.
I think Oklahoma's beat Arizona.
If I'm Tennessee, I want no part of Michigan. Yeah. They've bounced them from about, 3 tournaments in the last 15 years. I don't want to see Michigan.
Well, like St. John's, St. John's has never been there before, but we've beaten Arizona, so I like that matchup. Yeah. Duke's tough.
Well, this would be the East Regional is in Newark, New Jersey. So you would have, here's the thing, would you have a ton of I don't know how, the St. John's fans, I don't know how big that fan base is.
Yeah.
So, it's not like you're playing North Carolina in Charlotte. You might be playing St. John's, the 4 seed in Newark. That's not bad.
Yeah.
In terms of
when I look
matchups.
at that, John, one thing that's interesting to me is 2 number 2 seeds play Saturday at Texas A&M. With Texas A&M a number 2 in the South, Tennessee a number 2 in the East. So you would think the outcome of that game could change who is a number 2 and who has a chance to move up or who moves down. So, I mean, to me, that just puts added importance on Tennessee's next game after a midweek bye.
Okay. Anything else stand out about Tennessee's draw there? If that's the way it goes. I mean, I'm like you. I would rather be a number 1 personally, but to get the number 1-2 seed, I mean, a couple weeks ago we talked about on the show, you had started falling down the 2 line. You were getting close to the 3s. If you're up there at the top, you could get a 1 seed. And the big difference, the difference is you're going to play an 8 seed or a 7 seed in the second round. Negligible. Easy for me to say. But the trick is Tennessee's just never had that number 1 seed. And for some reason, there's value in the fact that it's another.
That you've had a number 1.
It's another box you've checked if you get the number 1 seed.
I think it adds an extra layer of pressure that Tennessee will already feel going in because of expectations. If we're the number 1 seed, now it's like Final Four, right?
Sure.
You're the number 1 seed. You're one of the top 4 teams going in, so there'll be a lot of people that will say, hey, you should make the Final Four. Whereas you're number 2, there's a little bit more wiggle room for the expectations that you have going in the NCAA tournament. So I don't think there's that much of a difference between the last number 1 and the first number 2, especially when you throw in the expectations.
Well, and just about the bracket that you just showed, and I don't follow college basketball down to every team, but I kind of like those 4 that were in there with Tennessee compared to going into some of the other brackets with other people. I mean, if I was going to play one of those number 1, okay, take my chances with Duke.
As opposed to saying, let me ask you that one. As a coach, you can play Duke, now you played them a couple of years ago in the tournament, but would you rather play a team you haven't seen all year, or would you rather play a team that you know?
Depends on the result of the team that you know, but and some of the matchups. But
you wouldn't want to play Kentucky, in other words.
Quick turnaround for the way that these guys prepare and the IQ of a Tennessee basketball player compared to most kids around the country. I'd rather take the advantage of playing against a team that you know. because we'll be able to be more prepared than a team that
And don't
doesn't
forget,
have the same IQ.
in the NCAA tournament, you could be playing a team for the fourth time. You could play them twice in the regular season, SEC tournament, and then in the NCAA. And Bruce Pearl was talking about that after they beat Alabama yesterday. That possibility is out there.
Oh, Lord, for Rick Barnes' sake, do not let Bruce Pearl go farther than Tennessee this year. Of course, Auburn knocked off Alabama last night in a 1-2 battle, and that really, what a shift in basketball in that state for the number one, number two game to be. I mean, we had that here in 2007 when you were over there on the staff with Bruce Pearl. It's Tennessee versus Memphis, 1 versus 2. Memphis had basketball tradition. Sorry, Vol fans, but Memphis has been to a Final Four. Tennessee hadn't. So that wasn't as shocking. Alabama and Auburn,
Yeah.
all
Well,
that
if
tradition.
you tell me
You had
Alabama and
Barkley.
Auburn are playing a 1 and 2 game,
Yeah.
the Iron Bowl's huge.
Yes,
this
exactly.
year.
It's football.
When you started
It's
talking about
amazing.
Alabama and you said the word shift, that was not the word that I thought you were about to use. So thankfully,
And kudos to Bruce Pearl, the first coach to win that 1 versus 2 matchup twice, and he did it both times on the road.
Bring him back. All right. Mark Pancratz, thank you very much. Appreciate it. When we come back, Tennessee's final 5 regular season games and why you should feel pretty good about Texas A&M and all the others on that list. Come on back.